let's resume actually doing attempts. The zips that I'm doing, we actually have 3 different types of zips that can be done. The one you've been seeing me do, where I just zip by just standing at the screen transition, that's just a normal zip. There's what we call a short zip, where we throw the yo-yo off the screen, like through the screen transition, and then take steps back and then grab it from a further distance. That makes it to where we only go a certain distance with our zip instead of taking us as far as it wants to go. And then there's another type of zip that maybe if I get a good enough run we'll see, called a pause zip, where if we pause on the same frame that we're zipping through a transition, it'll unload collision and allow us to go through walls and stuff. And a pause zip is annoying because you have to do it the exact frame that you screen transition. Oh yeah, it's good to see you too. I've maybe jumped into your stream a couple times here and there just to see how you're doing, but I'm good. I'm glad to see that you're doing good. Also, why was there? Oh, it's probably because the debug flag is on. Oh no. Uh, 141, it's not bad. I may just try to finish a run so you can see everything else, regardless of how this goes. But that's a decent enough time save. That boss fight can get annoying very quickly, because if you approach him too quickly and try to attack, then he just jumps away from you. And then if you take too long to end phases, he gets invulnerability, and then you have to go attack the enemy that's giving him invulnerability. And that's a short zip right there. Like, I did that zip but grabbed it from a further distance. That's just so I make sure I only go to that screen instead of farther. Because if I take it the normal zip, that will actually shoot me out of bounds. And then ends up doing nothing of value for me. Can I not mess this up, please? Thank you. I've been doing pretty good, and things have been going pretty well for me in the last couple years. Got a much better job. I'm actually working a job where now I'm salaried instead of just a normal wagey. I got married last year. So things for me have been pretty good. I guess now technically making a salaried would make me more of a wagey, I guess. Do I have enough money? I do. Thankfully, the position I'm in, they've told me that I've been in this position for about 7 months already, and there has not been a time where me having to work outside of 40 hours was actually needed. So I just get paid a lot more money to do essentially the same work. I want to get on this screen, so I reset there. There we go. Second try is alright. And that one was first try. I appreciate the congrats. And then I also got to go to my first GDQ, which was nice to see a bunch of people. Being in this new position actually allowed me to do that, because the job I was working before, I got so little PTO and got paid not like a terrible amount, just because wages in Oregon are kind of high in general for compared to most states, but my PTO was atrocious, and so I just never really had the pay or time off to be able to go. But in this new position, I get like, not only am I being paid more than double what I was before, but I also get like 7 hours of PTO a paycheck, and so just a single paycheck basically gives me an entire day off. That was not great. Got trolled a little too much. So now, if I go here, I set up this upgrade, and now because I actually had the $1,000 to bet, now I can go collect my bet and get all my money back and pay off that contract. And because I paid off, I have to come back down here and talk to this individual to get to actually like finish the upgrade and get the debuff off of me. Because whenever you take an upgrade, it also debuffs you in some way. So some do, like, you have less HP, enemies don't drop health, random stuff like that. In that case, that upgrade, I lose 1 maximum HP. So I wanted to make sure that I for sure went back and talked to them so I can actually get my health back. So now, can I do this in a reasonable time? There we go. That trick is not hard, I am just really bad at it. So I come into this dungeon because that guy I spoke to gives me this little badge that I'm carrying around with me, and this is what lets me enter the actual dungeon for this area. So now I'm gonna go actually enter the dungeon for real. And this is another dungeon where we get to skip basically all of it with zips. So this guy is using his power to fuel his construction and excavation projects, which are destroying the city. So this area you're supposed to get to halfway through the dungeon, but I'm getting there at the beginning. I do a short zip to get here, and then I need to do a zip from the middle of this screen transition, and it shoots me right outside the boss fight. And then I equip this badge. So this is the, well, I guess I didn't really explain it earlier when I had it. This is the demon badge, which caps my health at 2, but makes me do double damage. And then this guy, because of the amount of damage we do, we can just stun lock him. And so he never gets to actually put up a fight. The upgrades I've been getting increase my damage and then increase the damage that that charged attack I'm doing does. Yeah, I lost a bit of time, but that's whatever. If I can get the pause zip in a reasonable amount of time, then I can get some time saved back. So now I have 3 of the 4 batteries that I need. And I come over here. I can zip back to the entrance of this area. And then I need to run against this piece of wood to get myself lined up correctly to do this zip. And this puts me in the final area where I need to be. That's whatever. And now I need to do a pause zip. So, like I mentioned earlier, a pause zip is where I zip on the same frame that I pause on the same frame that I transition, like that, and allows me to skip collision checks, which puts me all the way down right at the end of the dungeon. Now, I'm gonna be a little risky here. I would normally want to come into this room with 3 HP, because there's a chance I can get hit here. Okay, I got lucky. He did not spawn in a spot where he could hit me. So now, I want to re-equip the demon badge, so I do a bunch of damage. And this guy is the main reason we use the parry attack, because his whole gimmick is he shoots a bunch of bullets that we can use to just reflect back on him. So in this case, if I do that, it stuns him. Oh, that's not good. I'm getting trolled. Okay, I'm gonna lose some time here because of that. Unless I can get this. No. Yeah, that's unfortunate to lose some time from that. If you try to attack him before he starts shooting, he will jump away. And there's a certain spot where you can stand as you attack him from the... After you finish the first hit of his 3rd cycle, if you stand in a certain spot, you can actually stun lock him and finish him right there. But unfortunately, I just was a little bit off. So now that I have all of the batteries, now is when I go to do the final fight. I'm not actually going to change my badge because I don't have another opportunity. Now, the way I'm intended to enter this dungeon is actually through an elevator, but because I didn't create the elevator, when I go through here to exit, the game's actually just going to spit me into water. I need to specifically hold down, otherwise the game will spit me into a wall. So because I didn't actually spawn the elevator to go down to that dungeon, it wasn't actually there. So I had to, if I don't hold down, the game will actually spit me into a wall and where I'll get stuck. And then that zip will put me right here. And now I'm back at the tutorial area. And like I mentioned before, it's very easy to get to the final boss area because of a zip. And basically what happens is, the point of getting these batteries was we were supposed to use them to put our aunt's energy back together. And the people I've been using to get upgrades and stuff, they are technically our family members. And it's exposed that at the end here, while we were out adventuring getting them, they were actually modifying the batteries so that instead of putting our aunt back together, they would actually enrage her. So the only thing she cares about right now is killing us. And so now we have to stop her. And because of all of the power she has, she just pulls us into this pocket dimension where she can manipulate everything. And she uses the mega batteries to attack us. And if with the upgrades that we have, we can basically end all of her phases before she's able to really act. And this fight is normally a really long gauntlet, where the only checkpoint you get is after you put her health down past the halfway point. That's the only time you'll get a checkpoint. And so we gotta be careful enough to not take a bunch of damage, because there's not a whole lot of health spawns during this fight. These mega batteries during the actual like fight itself have a chance to spawn some. Oh, that's a bad spot for that fire to be. That's fine. This is another thing she can do, where she's using the batteries as a shield. Just gotta hit her from behind with the yo-yo. Haven't seen this one in a while. And these whole sections are supposed to like test your knowledge of the abilities you've been learning, or that you've been getting. I messed that one up because I forgot that it's not the room I thought it was. But it should be fine because now if I clear this screen, I get a checkpoint. Obviously I don't want to die, but if I were to die, getting or dying after this screen is the best case scenario. Now I have a checkpoint. So if I die, it doesn't matter. She starts to do a couple new moves. This is the one I want to see her do the most, is this sword attack. She can also do this, where this is a whole screen nuke. This I do not want to see. Oh, I kind of can't ban that right now, so that's unfortunate. Please come back to me. This is the other attack we'd like to see, because she stands still for it. But unfortunately, I was kind of far away. And then now the fight ends with I having to knock the mega batteries into the void. Now I can ban this guy. So that should have been more time save if I didn't get trolled in some of the phases. But 1702, that's not bad. But that is the New Game Plus run. We're